Hello Sagittarius, and welcome to my channel, the Cat's Eye Tarot 777. How are you? I am here to do your general reading, so without further ado, cheese and rice. Without further ado, let's get started. This is for my Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus placements, okay? This is not a personal one-to-one reading. This is a general reading. So, with that being said, all of this may resonate, okay? It all may fit you to a T, or maybe only some resonates. Take what regards you and disregard the rest, okay? And none of it. This may not be your reading. If it's not your reading, it's not your reading. I would ask you to check out the other signs in your other placements and pop into one of those readings to see if that works for you better. Try and decide whether you want to leave a situation or leave a relationship or leave something. You're trying to decide. You're combing over things that have happened in the past. You're trying to use whatever you know from the past to move yourself forward, okay? You're doing your best to make the best decision, but you're definitely having to make, or you're at a point to where you need to make a decision to move forward and expand, and you're trying to use everything you have behind and in front of you before you move forward, okay? This choice is going to have you leaving something behind, something that you feel no longer serves you emotionally, okay? And this is about, I want to say the Hierophant is a public figure. Maybe it's like having to do with something traditional that you're leaving behind. Leaving behind something that is orthodox, could be a religion, could be religious ideals, okay? Or maybe even a mentor or a teacher. Judgment, again. Judgment is here looking over all of past mistakes, things that are coming up. Things are coming up from the past that we're looking over. Something is happening right now. Something new is upon you. Of course, obviously, if you're making a decision to move forward into the new, leaving things behind that no longer serve you, then that would make sense. It's just basically like just more reassurance to the message. So in this card, it does invite you to make sure not to make the same mistakes on your way out, which it looks like you're trying to do. There's betrayal here we're leaving behind. There's Three of Swords here. The Three of Swords here is a story of someone who is suffering great pain, but they do not tell their partner. And so they're suffering in silence, but not telling the partner is a betrayal in its own. And then they don't know their partner knows their partner's spying on them, and not telling them the truth about seeing what they're suffering through. Because one person's not wanting to share, be open about their own pain, and the other person is not wanting to share because they don't want to be found out as someone who is spying, who's intruding on their privacy. So there's something here of the sort going on, and it's a heartbreaking, tragic situation. And this may be something we're aware of already, right? Because we're sitting here trying to look forward and back. Something's coming up to the surface. We don't want to make the same mistakes and end up heartbroken. Should we just go because we don't want to make the same mistakes and end up heartbroken? There's some type of I wonder if this has to do with marriage. Okay? With a marriage that we're dealing with. Now, going from left to right, there's things that we're judging over. There's a decision we need to make. We need to walk away to find a higher emotional commitment because we were heartbroken. Now we're moving on to higher emotional commitment, because the Hierophant with the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is a wish fulfillment through this, through this higher, it looks like higher commitment. Let me pull some more cards. Seven of Swords here. See? So there's been some major betrayal that's coming up. Something is coming up that's been like betrayal, trickery, deceit. Okay? Betrayal, trickery, and deceit. And we're trying to be sure not to be stuck in that again. We may be in a relationship that we're not willing to leave. That's what I'm seeing here. I think there's either a marriage or a relationship that we are not wanting to leave. We might be worried about what it looks like to the public, but it might be on our undoing by worrying about appearances. We may think this is our wish fulfillment, but it may be a toxic relationship that we're not wanting to leave behind. We need to be very strong about our boundaries and what we really want, or we're going to be left feeling heartbroken. With this Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands, like something happened. Something here happened. And the Devil here also. Something very terrible happened. The Wheel of Fortune. Oop, we've got the Wheel of Fortune here also. This is considered the trickster god because everything was one way and then all of it changes completely into another out of nowhere. And it's not against anyone towards one way. It's like unbiased. It just is. It's just life happening. Five of Swords, and then something's completed. Okay. So, maybe there was a point in time where we felt like we needed to make a change, we needed to leave. We might have been concerned about making sacred vows of some sort. Everything changed though, and now we're looking that over and we're heartbroken. We're looking over the heartbreak and what would cause that for us again. This must be hard for us to let go. We think this is our wish fulfillment, but there's a lot of nasty fighting and deceit. And if we don't stand up for ourselves within our boundaries, we're just going to perpetuate the continual cycle of this. Until we face the darkness within this, the whatever the devil represents, it could be addictiveness, it could be greed, it could be just refusing to let go out of stubbornness. No matter what it hurts or who or how. We're going to have trouble. The world is here signaling an end, a completion to a cycle, and a new beginning to find harmony. We might be needing to end this in order to find our happiness and our harmony, to move on. This might be telling us to move on. But it's been very, very hard. That's what I'm getting here for you out of this reading. Interesting, not interesting, heartbreaking, very heartbreaking. It's just the way the cards came out back and forth. I get a sense that that's how you're feeling. I get a sense that you are back and forth. You are very Two of Wands. You know that there's this need to move forward, but before you go, you're wondering, well, back here, this is what I see, but ahead of me, this is what I see, but am I seeing everything clearly? There's this want to find that ninth cup, to find that emotional fulfillment. But there's also this need to stay within these boundaries that we have laid out, this structure we have created for ourselves, or that we believe to be the right thing. Life keeps happening, things keep changing around us, and then we're looking over it like it keeps resurfacing. Maybe it keeps cycling back up to us, and we're looking over our mistakes, and we're seeing the heartbreak, but we're also seeing the, the ninth cup within this. But the fighting and the deceit or the feeling of betrayal, there's a need to draw our boundaries. There's a need to draw a line. The Devil card is definitely about facing our shadow, and then we will find completion into harmony. Within the situation, we need to face our shadow. We need to face our darker side and the truth of it. Also, there may be a Capricorn coming in for you towards the end of this cycle. I don't know. That's what I'm reading out of this. This is kind of, to me, this feels very complicated. This is a very complicated reading and delicate. Let me pull an oracle card over this, and then I will end it for you, Sagittarius. What oracle, what message, spirit, what message do I have to deliver to Sagittarius from the oracle? Gentleness. Interesting. Gentleness is what I've gotten for you. Okay, I will read that to you. Snowflakes flutter through soft rays of dappled light into a veiled ghost bride. Strolling through a deserted forest, she personifies the spirit of gentleness. An escort of doves flies nearby, guiding her onward journey as she moves closer toward the open fields. By drawing this card, you are reminded of the virtue of gentleness. Life can be harsh at times, but the way we respond to challenges determines our receptiveness to its spiritual gifts and our connection to the world. Life beckons you to draw on this quality when it may be more tempting to react in the opposite way. If this is the case, the presence of this card is an opportunity for growth. By handling a predicament with the wisdom of gentleness, you bend with the ebb and patient flow of its quiet and humble countenance. If you feel tempted to revert to old ways of dealing with a situation, remember the wise counsel of Chinese writer Han Suyin. There is nothing stronger in the world than gentleness. All right, so that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. And this has definitely been a fight for sure. Possibly as well after reading that card. Okay, this is very complicated. But after reading that card, I feel like you have definitely been fighting with somebody. There's been a lot of fighting, back and forth fighting, and it's been heartbreaking. Maybe you have been very harsh, or they have been very harsh, and there is a need to recognize when to back off, like let your foot off the gas and seek harmony instead. Maybe a need to end all of that and focus on harmony, okay? Because it's just a cycle. It looks like a cycle of hurting, of pain, and then happiness, then pain, then happiness. I wouldn't say it's like grudging. It's just like there's a holding on to the fight more than anything. To defending instead of understanding and seeking harmony. I don't know, but that's what I get from this too. And I feel like that's where it ties into gentleness. So I hope for all of your peace. I send peace. I send strength. I send love. I send compassion to you and light to help you on this journey and to make the right choices for yourself, however that may be. Okay? It is all within your hands and your choices, and it's your life. All right? So you have a good one. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next time.